Before we get into this, let's first start off with him explaining where he got his name, and then we'll go to how he came to fame and fell from it.
Okay, so it was in this room where I got the name, this girl right here, she was like, Fedmyster, right? And I was like, wait, I actually love that name. I'm gonna fucking make that my YouTube name, and like my name.
Before I begin this video, I just want to point out that this is not supposed to be in any way slander or me talking badly of Fed or anyone else involved in this video. I'm mostly just making this video to both summarize the story of this individual person and more or less an opinion and a different viewpoint than what you would have seen otherwise on what may have truly been going on behind the scenes in his mind, causing him to fail. As such, this should not be taken with 100% seriousness when it comes to like the final conclusion. It is just supposed to be a summary of his life and an opinion piece on what may have caused his failure, with facts to back everything up. This video includes, for the finale, this video includes a lot of information that may have been outdated or irrelevant, and as such this video may have come to conclusions that are different or very much off what the modern conclusion of this drama is, because this video was made back near the beginning of this drama, so it will probably be very far off. It's just here to tell a story, and that's what you should take it as. Just a story, not a direct opinion, a story. It is a very hot day in 1995. We're in the US. Soon-to-be Mexican-American raised child by the name of Federico Michael Gaetan is born. He would soon grow up alongside his brother, and he would later have to drop out of school because of his dad's death, and start providing to his family. This would later bring him to become an editor for the content creator Christian I Will Dominate Rivera, a former semi-pro player for Team Liquid. This gig was a good start for Fedmyster, yet he still had a lot in store for us. Soon he would stop editing for Rivera, as he was invited to join a group OfflineTV in June 2017. He would later make a YouTube channel of his own in July 8 of 2017. With him and his new channel, he would partake in many OfflineTV videos, and this would help make his name become very popular in the community, and it would bring millions of views to OfflineTV in a process. Also, he would become friends of Pokimaine herself. He would truly start his Twitch career in January 2018, where he got started on stopping being the editor and started making his own content. During this year, he created this Fed7 emote. This emote would dominate the charts for a decent chunk of that year, and its sheer dominance would help to make it clear that Fed had a lot of growth ahead of him. At the start of 2018, he was officially made a member of OfflineTV. This would push his channel to new heights and bring him lots of success. Although these were fairly happy times for Fed, he started to show his first big signs of his image cracking when he got in trouble for photoshopping inappropriate images of Lily Pichu and Poki. Thankfully, they did forgive him, and at that time, his content was known to be quite crude, and he was making lots of sexual jokes and acting immature, so it wasn't really deemed to be done in bad taste. And although Twitch did think it wasn't a good joke, so they banned him for 24 hours regardless. This is the beginning of the trend of Fed getting away with doing things just because other people thought it was just Fed things. Even though his growth was quite steady and he was posting new videos, it was slowly becoming more and more apparent that the lines between his sexual humor and his physical self were getting more blurred. With him still growing as a channel again. During the corona viral infection, making people stay indoors and causing record numbers of viewership for most social media platforms, Fedmyster had hit new records of viewership and seemed destined to dominate the platform, with him and OfflineTV seeing a ton of success during these times. Fed had made a commitment to make as much growth as he could possibly get, and his content was still as extreme as it has always been, with him drinking a lot of alcohol on stream, and Fed was flying too close to the sun at this point, and his alcohol consumption, stress, and borderline questionable comedy was starting to catch up on him. In the weeks surrounding June 27 of this year, 2020, Fed was subjected to an OfflineTV-led intervention to break how he needs to change in order to prevent future issues. These issues were sexual harassment cases that happened a long time ago, in his career, and let's take a look at them. So, one night when Yvonne was lying in bed with the lights off, the door opened and Fed came in drunk, going out at night. He crawled in and laid with her for a bit. He soon grabbed her hand, kissed it, and then it started to touch the side of her chest. She mostly seized up for the moment, and he later would wake up and go, "Oh, did I do that? I'm drunk," basically. I'm not going to quote his entire word because it doesn't change the point that he blamed it on him being drunk, and it was like, well, I wasn't there. He would later do some actions that would show that he was knowing that he did that. Additionally, he had tried to inappropriately touch and massage the thighs of Lily Pichu when she was still recovering from a breakup. All of this and many more cases were brought up to him during this meeting, and he was apparently very apologetic and made a big thing about wanting to change himself for the better. Yvonne also finished her statements by saying that she didn't want to destroy Fed, she just wanted to make sure that people know that he needs help and that people stay away from him so that he can actually get the help. It seems like sexual behavior wasn't just a part of his type of comedy, but instead a part of himself, and we've seen many signs of this since the very beginning. He truly is a very troubled man. Fed later promised to stop these behaviors, but it was soon decided that he did not change and went back to his old manipulative ways. And around June 27, he was exposed for his behavior in a tweet long from Yvonne, the one that we read earlier to talk about the cases. He would go on and make a somewhat decent, like a half-made apology, I guess, and went silent. He would then be removed from OfflineTV, making him lose the platform that made him famous in the first place. Catching up to right now, well, now I'm recording this was right now. His channel was already starting to leak subscribers, and is likely never going to be as popular as it is before. I feel bad about this story, and I feel that Fed's story isn't of malice, but a sad lesson of a kind of ironic twist, and here's what I kind of got from it. He was loved and able to grow because of how real he was of his audience, and his reality was a pretty sad one that he was able to make into his personality for escaping reality and going online. He was troubled, and although many assumed that his sexual remarks were solely on his comedy, they were truly a part of his subconscious that was rooted in physical life, seeping out in a form of his comedy. People really do like his comedy, and I bet he does try to make those around him happy because he himself felt what it's like to not be. Yet in the end, nobody is perfect, and it seems that what made him so lovable is also linked to what drove him to break personal boundaries of his peers, thus killing his connection of the group that supported him for comedy and made him as big as he is, putting a fairly fitting end to this story, as his personality made him famous, or was also responsible for making him lose fame. He was in the wrong, I get that, but it's important for us to look at what made him do it, and if he was truly intending to be a bad person. As Yvonne puts it, she didn't want to destroy him, she just wanted to warn others, and she couldn't have said it better, because he likely is a quote-unquote good person. Like, he was a good person, he just has mental health issues that need to be addressed. As such, it's for his own good that people give him space so he can do his best. When you watch him, you can see a dude who just wants to make people happy and is subject to the whims of his mind. He likely is not able to learn a lot of societal rules that we take for granted, and he had a rough past. My only hope is that he find help and doesn't blame it on external factors instead of himself. It seems he has a tendency to just try to avoid issues when he has conflict, and it makes sense. He's gone through a lot of conflict in his life, but it's up to his friends and him to try to get him the help so that he actually learns how to deal with this conflict instead of turning it into a deeper repressed issue.